Hello, hello, hello. We are live in color, as they say. Let me know if you can hear me. Well, I always ask this every time I go live. You never know when you go live. It's like Murphy's Law. If it can go wrong, it'll go wrong. So, what's up? What's up? Hey, 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 Sonia Love. Appreciate you being in here. Cool. Glad I'm sounding good. Or you can understand me. I don't know about good, but ready to roll. Lots of things to talk about tonight. Y'all can pick a topic also. We can go with that. I do not want to talk about elections or religion. Um, I do not want that argument in the chat room. Wow, that would be kind of tough. What's up, Scott Powell? Hadn't seen you in a while on here. Um, I'm sure Junior's glued to the TV here. Steelers are. Oh, there's a fumble. Or is that incomplete pass? Anyway, they're driving down the field. They'll with Big Ben behind the in that quarterback position, they'll probably pull this one out. Got to have a touchdown. Though. Been a tough football weekend so far. Mountaineers lose a game they should have won. Had every chance in the world, but saw a lot of good stuff from a good young team. So they're doing great. Fishing was slow today. I hear you had bluebird skies. They probably down deep. Probably would have been a good drop shot day around a brush pile somewhere. If you got the good electronics to find them. I'm quarantined again. I have a follow up procedure in Roanoke on Tuesday, so you know how that goes. But I quarantined a little bit differently. I went out and rode around. Can't catch it with the windows up, I don't think. So, what's everybody's favorite handgun to carry? That'd be a good topic. And why you carry it. Oh, I know I got this on you. I feel good. I feel good. That crazy sinus infection wore me out last 2.5 weeks. But I'll get back at it soon. I hear you, Scott. Um, I know my brother-in-law went over to Mon Cove in the deepest part of the lake, drop shotting a little while back, and was catching big old slab crappie over there. I hear you, Mom. I got it on the red zone. There's a lot of close games going on here. Cardinals and Dolphins are tied at 31 each. Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate that. So the big transition from the fishing to the hunting world. I I saw a buck chasing a doe around in a little open lot today. That got me excited. There was about 9 other does standing there watching. I guess they lined up to make babies. But he had his eye on one of them, and he was running. They was going in a big circle, chasing that thing. A lot of deer movement. I'm telling you, need to be careful out there. I've seen more of it, more dead deer along the road this year than I think I've seen in quite a while. So Raiders and the Chargers in a big tight one too up here. Looks like it. If any of y'all watched that game yesterday, W in Texas, that was tough. That was hard. Just couldn't get them touchdowns. Couldn't get calls. What's up, Brian Wills? Did you get to stay home today? I say I got one viewer on the YouTube. He'll say hi to us. We're streaming live on YouTube also. I'm guessing who that might be. All right, Chase Elliott won the NASCAR championship. That is good to hear. Keeping that family tradition going on. That was awesome. I knew he was in second place going into the final day today. I was hoping he would pull that off. That is awesome. It's got to be one of the youngest, if not the youngest, to probably win that. If Jeff Gordon wasn't younger when he won his first one. I could be wrong. Somebody else might have been younger than that, but I don't remember that. So cheers out to Chase Elliott and the Elliott family. That is awesome. That is awesome. Pretty cool. So everybody ready for the upcoming deer season, the big tradition of Thanksgiving week? Got your rifles all sighted in so we can make great shots and not lose anything. That which is so important. So important. I think we're all together now with all our guns all sighted in. I tell you what, ammo is tough to find, and when you do find it, people are I can't remember the word. They're gouging the price on it for sure. I mean, it's odd that you can find a box of 308 Federal basic deer hunting ammo for $19 one place, and somebody else wants $36 for a box. That just blows my mind. So ammo is at a premium right now. If anybody knows a good place to get ammo, please let us know. Because we're looking like anybody else is. I mean, we got enough to hunt with this year, but who knows what's going to happen after the election. I don't know. No, and we don't. We bore sight them things the old-fashioned way, the best way. Hit the paper, zero in where you hit, and you're good. And then usually 2 shots. We're right in it. So that's about the average, I believe, this year was 2 shots, and we're good to go. If anybody's got any tips on some land that someone would like to lease, please message me privately if you know of anybody that be willing to do that. Preferably with some open areas in there. No big steep cliffs is all we're finding now. From land that people were willing to lease to us, but it just wasn't really accessible, and it would have been killer on an old man like me to try to hunt that. And so, anybody got any tips or knows someone that might, just send me a private message. We would appreciate that. That would be awesome. Looking for somewhere where for my family to be able to hunt, and then and people that are close and we trust, things like that. So, hard to find. Hey, what's up, sis? Appreciate you getting on. I don't know what just happened in the Raiders game, but it's over with. Raiders won 31-26. Wow. Hey, Greenbrier Outdoors, over on the YouTube side, yeah, maybe so. On the YouTube side there, Greenbrier Outdoors, please hit like and share if you would. That would be leave a comment. That would be great. That would be great. Yeah, I'm trying to keep that a secret. Yeah, I hear that's a bad spot. I got lucky though. Very, very lucky. If y'all would, if you'll share this broadcast for me, I'd appreciate that. That would be awesome. Looking forward to all the new items. It's coming out for Christmas when it comes to outdoors, fishing, hunting. We're all like gadgets and deals. The Prime Day should be coming up soon for the holidays on Amazon. KastKing usually has some great deals happening. The Christmas show on KastKing Live on Tuesday nights, they do lots and lots of giveaways. So looking forward to that coming up. I know with COVID-19, being able to do much and being able to get it when it comes to that side of things might be a little tough. But so I would recommend shop now if you can. If you know there's something you need that a loved one would love to have for Christmas, I would look at it now, because with the shortage and help and manufacturing things like that, it could be a tough year to get that top toy, top fishing rod, top fishing reel, anything out there that's popular this time of year could be hard. So I recommend checking that out. Always a good gift idea could be giving somebody a subscription to Monster Bass. It's a monthly bait box with top brand baits selected for your area for the waters that you fish. So that would be I'm not sure. Giants won 23-20 over the Washington football team. The Browns I forget who they were playing, but I ain't seen much of them on the red zone this evening. I'm watching across the bottom of the screen to see what's happening, but I don't see anything up yet. So Todd Markham, I appreciate you hitting the like button on this video. The what and another topic, for all the ones who hunt out there, what is your favorite cover scent in deer attractant that you use out there? I'll tell you my favorite cover scent, and it has been for years and years and years, and it has worked so well, and that's Red Fox Pea by Tinks, and it's just amazing. A lot of studies out there show that a red fox is about the smartest animal in the woods, and for some reason, all other creatures in the woods know this. I've seen many studies showing video from where where deer would walk in an area and stop all of a sudden, put their nose up in the air, being alert, and then all of a sudden they just calm down, start wagging that tail, and next thing you know, there's a red fox in the area. So there is a lot to that. It may stink. It may make your dog pee on your boot when you get back home, because I've seen that happen. But it is, for me, it's the best cover scent I've ever used. And controlling your scent is so very important. It is. It's as important as having your gun sighted in, because if they smell you ain't gonna get shooting. So I recommend a good laundry detergent from a name brand, from a reputable, I can't even say that word, but a name brand company, and use the dryer sheets from those. And I've seen people put their hunting clothes in a tote full of leaves, bag them up in a non-scented style bag, and you'll be good to go. Because I want to tell you, that's their sense of smell is unreal, and that's their number one weapon right there. But when I do everything that I possibly can, it don't always work, but I've had them walk right by me within 10 feet and not even know I'm there. I mean, sometimes it'll blow your mind how close you can have an animal come to you. And I tell you, I've had a bear walk right up to my blind one time and put his nose in the mesh. And well, almost face to face to me, because he didn't smell me till he got right to the blind. So just luckily, he didn't think it was a good idea to stick around. And he went the other direction. That could have went either way for me. But for some reason in that moment, I wasn't scared. I was more, I think, in shock that I had a black bear that close to me, and it was an amazing experience. It might not have ended up that way, but it ended up okay. And so Red Fox Pea, remember that. I know that some people are squeamish when it comes to that stuff, but and right now using a good estrus and heat scent with those little wicks that you can hang from the tree limb. Because right now, I witnessed today, the bucks are in the rut hard. I mean, they're going after it. They're fighting. John is in the chat room. He saw two fighting. down near the hospital the other day. So they are getting after it, and that makes a buck get stupid. Um, we seen one today that didn't care that we were standing there. Because he had he was on the trail of a lady, and they must love the smell of gasoline, evidently. But when that and I'd say what happened today was them bucks was on the trail of a doe, and sometimes that ends up bad, and it ended up bad for one today. Hated it, but I didn't have a chance. Oh, you got a touchdown. Well, that means they in the lead then. Good. I haven't been paying attention. I got myself up on the deer hunting here. Um, so, but yeah, deer season's coming up. I do not like this warm weather. I cannot wait, and I hope for Thanksgiving week we at least get it back down in the 40s. Um, if you do harvest one when it's hot like this, you ain't got time to sit around the group or around the fire or whatever. Let it hang over there and catch your breath and get back, and get your energy back. Time to process that thing. Cause cool. Then, cause a few years ago when they had that very first early archery season in the month of September, I killed one with a bow. The time I got it hung up, it was already 75 degrees. I didn't have no chance to catch my breath, so that wasn't any fun. So let me know what your favorite knife is for skinning the deer. I love the Javelina Piranhas that uses the scalpel blades. I mean, I do know of someone who harvested a bear and the blade didn't wear out, and he was able to skin a whole bear with one blade. And you can buy extra blades for it. I bought an extra 100. So that's my favorite skinning knife. You just got to be careful with it because you can cut yourself and not even know it. That's how sharp these blades are. So you got to be real careful with that. But man, so smooth and easy. Like an old timer too. They do hold an edge, and I got one somewhere, and I'm not sure what I've done with it, but I do love an old timer. But that Javelina Piranhas is an awesome knife for skinning. I mean it is sharp. It's almost scary sharp. Well, it is scary sharp for sure. What's up, Ben? I was wondering if he's gonna get in here. Another topic we talk about: what is everybody's favorite caliber to hunt deer with? I know everybody has their favorites. Um, but the cool stories I love hearing and seeing is the old deer rifle that's been passed down for many generations from father to son to grandson. I hear you. I understand about running late, but I love seeing those guns that's been passed down. They've been taken care of and cleaned and just beautiful, especially old bolt actions like your old Remington BDLs and your old Savages. I love seeing those deals, and I think it's pretty cool that tradition of passing damn guns. And like a 270 or the 308. I enjoy the 30 caliber rounds. Um, Remington 700. Yeah. Is that a BDL or ADL you got there, B? Either way, awesome guns. Um, I like the thing I like about the 308. It's still a good brush gun. Of course, I had BDL. Awesome, awesome guns. Worth some worth some cash there for sure. Um, I started out like a lot of young lads with the lever action 30-30. I remember when Age Discount Store was in business, where Ollie's is now, or Magic Mart was. Every year at Christmas, they had a um, 30-30 special with scope. It was the Glenfield Marlin, but it was the refurbished regular Marlin 30-30. And it still was a good gun. I think all us kids down in Caldwell growing up in my age group all had a 30-30 lever action. Of course, I started out shotgun and slugs, like, and that's pretty deadly too. If you got a shotgun with a rifled barrel and a slug and tap for a scope, you're good at 125 yards, and you couldn't beat that for a brush gun. That's for sure. Um, I like to get. I'd love to have a Model 12 Winchester, but I can't afford one because their value went straight up when Winchester quit making or producing guns on a regular basis. But a Mossberg, there's something about a Mossberg. Love to have one of those. I can't remember the model number, 857, something like that. But you can get a Mossberg pump, and you can get a rifled barrel too to go with that. Tap for a scope, and I'm gonna tell you, it is a sharp looking shotgun. Sharp when it's got a scope on. You just got to find your your good view and your scope, your eye relief. You don't want to be right up on a shotgun. That's the same as a 300 Win Mag. You don't want that circle around your eye for sure. But, yeah, those BDLs are nice. That's for sure. Remington makes a pretty good all-around gun, all the way from the. I looked at a John. What was the model number on that? What's the model number on that semi-automatic Remington? It's in the same line as like the 870s. Oh shoot, I can't think. 8400. Man, I don't know. I can't remember, but those are pretty solid shotguns for hunting. I don't know. I'm not into the Benellis or the Ifigas or the. I forget some of them other French and Italian names, but I'm sure they're all good guns. It's just I I don't know. When I hear those guns, I think of skeet shooting instead of hunting. So, but I also like a Ruger. I have I have the Ruger American 308, and for a affordable deer hunting gun, and this has been as solid as any one I've had. I've had a Winchester Model 70, 30-06. It would knock a tar out of you, but man, it was a true shooter. Um, and I like the Savage Axis. For the money, you can't beat that Savage Axis or the Model 11. in the Savage. It pay a little more, but I mean that Accu-Trigger is just awesome. Mossberg has a very similar trigger system to that. I got to shoot a Mossberg Patriot a week ago in a 7mm, and wood grain gun. Man, that was sweet. So if someone offers you a great deal on a Mossberg Patriot, I would recommend it because they're solid. Um, Wood grain though is expensive for sure. Um, I remember the days before synthetic stocks, and when everything was wood, the prices were affordable, and then synthetic came out, and wood went sky high, and made out of special wood, I guess. But I love a bolt action. I love a bolt action. I don't mind these single shot rifles, because if you got your scope in, that's all you it's tuned in. That's all you need. Um, but I don't want to pay the price for a Thompson. When Model 1100, that's what it was. That's what we saw today, wasn't it? Or sometime, I don't know. But when you can go buy a Rossi, check this out. I sold many of them when I worked at Walmart. Um, yeah, the Woodstock and the bolt action, you can't beat it. That's the thing I love about the Ruger American. I love the bolt on it. It's got that 75-degree bolt. It will never hit your scope. Like some will when if you want to use the big heavy duty powerful scope, sometimes bolts get in the way. But you could buy a Rossi combo kit. You could get a 410 shotgun barrel, a 30-30 barrel, and a 22 barrel. Yep, the old Model 11. And maybe spend $130. And they're tapped for scope. And they may not look like much, but man, they shoot good. And now I don't know about that Rossi, with a revolver rifle. We sold several of those. I don't know. That shot the 410 slug in the 45 Colt, long Colt, I think. I don't know. I mean, I'm a country boy, but I ain't that much of a cowboy. but, but you could buy a Rossi and still kill some deer, and it don't have to be a Thompson. When the barrels cost as much as what you paid for the gun to begin with, it's crazy. I do miss the muzzle loader. I don't get excited for that anymore because you get 1 week here. When I lived in Virginia, you got 2 weeks of muzzleloader, and then when the deer season came in after that, it stayed in all the way till January to the new year. And depending on what counties you lived in, if they had a million does they wanted to get rid in, there was 2 or 3 counties that stayed open all the way to the following May, up near northern Virginia area. And that's where everybody had moved out of District Columbia and that metropolitan area and moved into some of those counties in Virginia near there, like Loudoun County, Prince. There's a couple of them with the name Prince in front of them, and there's one. I never pronounce this right, and it sounds bad when I try to say it, so I'll just spell it: Fauquuier, I think. County that stays open until then, and they ask you to kill 2 does before you even look at shooting a buck. So that's how growed up it's got. They were allowing high-powered rifles in Loudoun County, Virginia, in 5-acre woodlots around $5 million homes. And so you had to really pick your shooting lanes, and sometimes you only had one. And but man, it was just deer everywhere. If you couldn't keep your freezer full there, I don't know what you're doing wrong, because you didn't have to do much to kill one. After a while, that got a little old, because I mean you could walk out on your front porch and knock one down every day. And for $18, that you can get two more does every day. You can do that. It's in those counties. So I mean, you could pile up, feed the hungry, whatever it is. If you want to go skin that many deer in a season, it's crazy. Some counties over there run dogs. I hear you. I just didn't trust that gun, but some people, uh, some people just fell in love with the look of that revolver rifle. I guess you'd call it. I forget what it was called, but I think it shot the 45 long Colt, the 410 slugs. Um, we're still looking at um, uh, supply. I went and looked at two places today. One's not very accessible, and it was so steep that I mean it just wouldn't be worth it. Another place looked pretty good. Might be some other issues with that, but if I was just mentioning before you got on, if you know anybody that's got some land that might be willing to lease that ain't too far away, um, you can private message me later, because we are looking. It's tough finding places to hunt, and the world's shrinking as we know it, and there's five or six of us in the family, and people who are considered family, that we like to hunt together, and we're on a small place right now, and that could be a little dangerous. Um, so so we're looking. So if anybody knows of there's some land to lease, and we're gonna do it right. We're gonna. I've been looking on legal sites at hunting leases, and we're going to do it legal all the way around, wherever it may be, whatever county it may be. We want to file that at the courthouse. We want to be able to, do do it right and stuff. So there's no questions, about what you doing here. I didn't know this was going on, or there's things like that. So, um, and we will be good at taking care of people's property. It will not be trashed up. Um, things like that. So if you know anybody that possibly got 100 acres or more, or we'll even say 50 acres or more, that wouldn't mind leasing the hunting rights to me and my family, and very close people to our family, man, so, just send me a private message, and we'll be taking it. You know, we'll definitely take a look at it, because it's also for me a hunting lease would be like having a man cave, or just need to get away, even when it's not season, and check on stands, things like that. Possibly if it's got some fields, planting, clover, things like that, it would be very cool. It would be very cool. And actually, Benji, where I was at today, looking at that place that was not very accessible and things like that, I was probably on the other side of the river from you, uh, where I was looking. So um, so you know how steep that side is over there. We was kind of hoping there would be an access road to take you to the top, but there wasn't. So, but anyway, did the Steelers held on? I'm telling you, I mentioned it today. That wouldn't it be crazy the way the Steelers has taken out a lot of the top teams so far, and in the league. And if they go down to Dallas and lay an egg, that and so, but like I said a minute ago, Big Ben come out of the locker room ready to play again. Um, he wasn't hurt too bad, and I knew when he come back out on the field that he would lead them. Now there at first, it looked like Dallas wasn't going to let up, but they made the plays when they needed to. So who do the Steelers play next? They got to be hitting some teams. Maybe a second go around with the Browns. They got to play the Ravens one more time. Looked like the Ravens were down today. Texans beat the Jaguars. Jaguars starting quarterback was out, and a rookie that nobody's ever heard of before come in through for over 300 yards for the Jags, and they almost beat the Texans. That was a matchup of 2-1-6 teams. Here's the Colts. It still ain't telling me Dolphins beat the Cardinals. Wow. You just don't know, man. I think the Seahawks lost today. Play the Bengals on the 15th. All right. Well, it'd be kind of I can remember back in the 70s when I was just very young, and the Bengals only won 2 games one year. In one of the years that Pittsburgh won the Super Bowl, and the 2 losses that Pittsburgh had on the season were to the Bengals. So it used to be an old saying in Cincinnati way back in the day. If you only win 1 or 2 all year, and if it could be against the Steelers, we had an amazing season. But there was a lot of things going on back in. I think Bradshaw was hurt in one game, and then the next game, I think Franco and Rocky were out. But I remember the year that the Oakland Raiders went to the Super Bowl and they beat Pittsburgh in the AFC Championship game. But Pittsburgh didn't have Franco Harris, Rocky Bleier, or another one of their top players to play that day. And because if they'd have been healthy, the Raiders wouldn't have been playing in another. Pittsburgh would have been in another Super Bowl. So that's the way I look at it. They should, gotta love Terry Bradshaw though. I mean, there was a guy come in there with no talent really, but he was able to manage a team with some of the greatest players ever played a game. There had to be some egos in there, but he had that team and he led that team, and man, they were special. Even though I hated them with all my soul, had to give him credit, just like the Cowboy teams back in them days. Emmitt Smith, what a player! But I hated the Cowboys. But what a player Emmitt Smith was. Lord have mercy. Jason Witten. I think I seen him in a Raiders uniform. When's he gonna quit playing? Yep, you're 8-0, Junior. You're 8-0. And you got my boys next week. You'll be 9-0. That way, we might make you sweat a little bit. Burrows finds a way to keep them close. I don't know what happened to us against the Ravens. Got down real quick and just snowballed. But everybody else we've played, we've been right with them. And finally hung on to one. Yeah. I don't have any new toys to show today. Next week I plan on going over my what I carry hunting with me in the woods, and what I take that I may need after hunting in case of I harvest a deer. Tactics I use, things to make it easier. Clothes I wear. Number one thing, and I'll say it this week for next week, and I'll show you, I think, is the rubber boots, like your muck boots, your lacrosse boots. They are scent free, and I think that is the number one thing to start out with. Is your boots and controlling your scent there. And if you go with a pair of mucks or lacrosse, or even what they sell out there, Tractor Supply sells a good boot. You can ask Billy Max. Comfortable, and they don't hurt your wallet near as bad. My lacrosse boots, which I'll show next week. I paid a pretty penny for them, but my toes don't get cold, and it keeps me in the woods a lot longer. Once I dig out my socks, I found some really good socks this past year. It's been the best socks I have moved since last year. See, I think no. I'm not sure what I've done with my socks. But they're here somewhere. I'm still digging. And some of the products I use for scent control before I go. That's going to be next week. And guys, feel welcome. Gals, whatever y'all hunt with, let me know. You may give me an idea that'll help me out. And that's what we're here for, to help me out. So that's going to be the topic of next week's shows. We're going to review some things for hunting. I'm no expert by no means, but if people can join in and we can have a discussion on certain items and why you use them and why it's worked for you. That's what this is all about. Get some information out there, to help each other out. We're I have a feeling that we're not, getting that information to go after the deer you've been looking at on camera all year. So it's not about that. It's just helping out your fellow people in the chat room, and it could be good because I'm gonna advertise the heck out of next week's show because it's gonna be getting close, about a week out. We can talk about game cameras. Unless you own a guide service and you have land that you guide on, you do not need a game camera that's going to cost you as much as let's say a brand new car payment. It's just whatever. What you're mainly looking for, and we'll talk about it more though when it comes to game cameras, making sure you got your date and your times, where they stamp onto your pictures, of knowing the trends of when they're coming in from the fall, into the cold and winter, and you're going to notice two things as the year goes in. You're getting into the rut. You're going to notice that during the rut, you're going to get pictures from all over, all day long, different times of days, because um, especially if you set up in the right area, you're going to get some crazy pictures. But the deer you're seeing during that time is not going to be the bucks you saw during the early fall, especially end of August, first September. I can promise you that, because my goal is when I look at my SD card is to see that monster buck around Halloween time, around this time, because he's probably settled in with a pack of does. And but if you see him around August 30th a few times, unless you got a big plot of land that you farm and you do food plots with winter wheat, things like that, clover, turnips, beets. They love those kind of things. Root vegetables, they love that stuff. If you're doing something like that that may keep him around, he's not going to be there, because I saw a deer one time that I believe, and I never heard anybody killing it, and I'm sure they did. Um, if it didn't push state record, now the only thing it might have got is some of them big old rack bucks down in Logan and Mingo County where you can only bow hunt, because they grow big air because of that. But it won't be the same deer you see. I have found that out year after year after year, and it just but it's cool checking out your pictures and things. Now, would I like to have a camera that it's got the antenna on it where I can go wireless and never have to disturb my hunting area? Yeah, that works through AT&T off your cell phone plan or something like that. That would be pretty cool. Um, but you don't have to have that, you know. But then you got to always remember when you go check your pictures, you need to be thinking about about being scent free and things like that. I will tell you about a company in Ohio that makes deer scents from a farm. That is amazing. And just remember this name. It's called Jackie's Deer Lures. I would check them out. And just a little tip. Um, when you got deer walking up with just a few feet from you, and it's just amazing. I had the opportunity setting in a little chair blind, and what that is like a chair in a bag, but it's got a blind attached to it. You pull it over top of you, looking out the side window of a doe eating acorns, to where I could see when she would bite down on an acorn and they would shatter. I could see it shattering in her mouth, and that was to red fox feed and using um, Jackie's some of Jackie's deer lures. So it that's just amazing. And if I don't kill a deer, but I see something like that, that makes my day. So Tuesday I have another um, have a follow up colonoscopy on Tuesday to check out the major one I had to have back in August. Follow up to see what's going on in Roanoke, and so I start that god awful prep. And I've known several of you had colonoscopies. So if you got any tips on a good liquid diet, clear liquid diet for me, other than chicken broth and bone broth, that is safe for me to eat, because I'm telling you, when I think of chicken broth and bone broth, Now I get the gag reflex. I'm sorry, I do. Because you won't catch me ever eating chicken noodle soup again. But I still make all my stovetop stuffing when I don't make a real thing with chicken broth instead of water. That's amazing. But to drink that stuff straight, no. Because they tell me I can't have anything tomato based. Um, so I don't know. But if anybody's got any ideas, please message me on a good liquid diet that won't make me feel like I'm starving to death and that that don't make me want to gag. This will be my third colonoscopy since the 1st of August. And when this one's over, I gotta get rid of a umbilical hernia, and hopefully I'll never get cut upon ever again because it's wore me out. I'll be glad to seem like I start to get back into shape, and then I'll have one of these surgeries and tell me I got to eat soft foods for a week or two. And let me tell you, there's no carb friendly soft foods out there. Everything soft got a ton of carbs. I started in 1st of April dieting with the keto principles, and I cannot eat a lot of that stuff that people that's full blown keto eat. I've never even heard of it. I don't even know what a lot of that stuff was. But what I did though is I eat a lot of red meat and stir fried a lot of vegetables with using olive oil. Um, I had to cut out potatoes and bread though. That was the hardest thing. But I went from 245 to 212 um, in into July. That was at 212. So it does work, but the potatoes and the bread's the hardest thing. And and I always said, when Thanksgiving comes, I still will have a little bit of mashed potatoes and gravy because it's a holiday. But I felt the best of my life, and then I went and had this first colonoscopy, which is a normal one, and they couldn't get all the polyps out, so he sent me to Korean Roanoke Memorial Hospital, where it's supposed to be the top endo doctors in the world, and they got this huge sunflower size. That's what he said. I don't know. It was bigger than him. Polyp out of me, but I had to go on soft foods for 2 weeks, and whew, so I'm back up to 425 now, and so I so I gotta get back on it. I felt the best of my life there when I was down to 212. I've been lighter, but I felt really good at that weight. So showing the highlights of the Pittsburgh game right now on this, well, all the touchdowns. The cool thing about the NFL Red Zone, if you don't have it, and you might be interested in that instead of the NFL Sunday Ticket, if you've never watched the Red Zone, what it does, it shows every scoring drive once they hit the red zone, and that's why they call it that. There might be some other special reasons when I go to a game, but anytime a team reaches a red zone, they go to that game. Then it's all about the scoring. So you get to see every red zone anytime somebody's in the red zone in every game being played. So it's pretty cool. And then at the end of the day, when all the games are over with, they'll show every single touchdown that was scored. So, I mean, it's a pretty cool deal. So that just ended. The red zone did for today. So tonight we got what? Tom Brady and Drew Brees. Am I correct? Somebody let me know. I can't remember. Yep, let's see. The guide. Yep, we got Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. Now, if you didn't know that Tom Brady was in Tampa, you'd think that was Super Bowl. So, that's getting ready to come on here in just a few minutes. So, any Tom Brady fans out there? I think Tampa is trying to buy a Super Bowl. That's just my opinion. Still, the players still got to play, but Gronk looks like Gronk again. They got Leonard Fournette for nothing, really. Then to bring Antonio Brown in. So, and he's been working out every single day with private coaching and things like that to keep himself in shape. So it's not like he's not going to be physically not able to play, but just and he knows how to get open. I mean, a lot of routes he ran in Pittsburgh, he just went where he knew by watching film, where he knew the holes were at. He knew who he could beat. He knew he did the double move as good as anybody. And but the best thing about him was he caught the ball. He had glue on his hands. He didn't have the stuff Fred Biletnikoff that stick 'em. That let's see, Junior's in here. He knew about stick 'em. Don't know if Mom did. I don't think anybody else ever heard of stick 'em. If anybody other than Junior heard of stick 'em, comment please. Fred Biletnikoff. If not, look him up. It looked like he had Vaseline all over his body. But stick 'em, the balls would just stick to his hands. That's not allowed anymore, but he played for the Oakland Raiders, and he is a Hall of Famer using and he's a Hall of Famer using stick 'em. Fred Biletnikoff. Him and Cliff Branch were the version of the Steelers, Lynn Swann and John Stallworth. Was it John Stallworth? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. When it comes to wide receivers in the league, Pittsburgh had Benny Cunningham at tight end, and the Raiders had Dave Casper. Dave Casper and Benny Cunningham. I don't know if Benny Cunningham's a Hall of Fame or not. He should be. Dave Casper's in the Hall of Fame. Raiders had Kenny Stabler. Steelers had Terry Bradshaw. Pretty similar teams, except for the Raiders lacked. You can't say their defensive line lacked, but the Raiders lacked on the back end, I think. They had Mel Blount. No, that's Pittsburgh had Mel Blount. I can't remember the defensive back in for the Raiders. It was so great, but they just lacked in a couple areas. Ray Guy, probably the greatest punter to ever play, Hall of Famer. What brought back some memories of Raiders and the Steelers. Probably two of the most solid teams to ever play in the AFC and NFL history. Just my opinion. Everybody can say that New England did this and do that. I just don't know if you brought back the Steelers from then or the Raiders from then and lined them up. I don't think New England style of football. Well, if New England won, there would probably a lot of people hurt after the game. I mean, it's just there's just a whole lot of difference in the football back then there is now. That's for sure. Well, guys, gals, I think we're going to get off here. But I appreciate everybody that got on and commented. I next week we're going to be talking about what products I use for hunting and why I use them, why I decided to use what I wanted to decide. Please think of things that you use for hunting, and we'll help each other out when it comes to that. Um, any great fish catches during the week. It's gonna be warm. It's gonna be a lot of people out on the water. So if you caught something big and you don't mind to tell us how you caught it, we would love to hear that. Shoot some pictures. We'll pop it up on the screen. Shoot them to my message box. I love to promote people's catching big fish. If you've taken a nice buck or a doe, or your first deer ever with a crossbow or a compound, shoot me a picture. We'll promote that up here on the live stream. That would be a lot of fun. So I can share that on my screen. That would be a blast. That would be a lot of fun. Let your friends know that we're out here every Sunday night, 7 o'clock, live, talking about the good old outdoors. We don't talk about religion. We don't talk about politics on here. So it's good, fun, feel good stuff. So have everybody join in, promote this. I'm out trying to promote this every day. Tell your friends to go to my page, Oaksters Live, and hit the like button. We'll get this thing rolling. I'm not sure how to get my YouTube thing built up, because if you go to YouTube and try to go live just through YouTube, it tell you got to have 1,000 followers. Yeah. So I can go YouTube live this way. I might go in and pull up my Twitter page. I can go live on Twitter. I can go live on Periscope. All at the same. I think I can do 3 destinations with the package I got for software. Guys, if you have any tips for me on doing these live shows, and when it comes to lighting or how I present myself or what I wear, and whatever, I take criticism well, as long as you ain't being mean about it. I get called stupid sometimes. I just blow it off. It ain't no big deal. But guys, yeah, next week we're going to talk about our setups when it comes to hunting. I mean, the only real secrets that should be kept, and I understand, is where we're seeing our big deer and all that stuff. That we shouldn't be offering up that anyway. That because there is people that will poach your area. There is people that will poach your deer when they hear things. So, there has to be a decrease in herds. That's why we have hunting seasons. That's why we have bag limits, and it ain't a bunch of wig wearing politicians in Charleston telling us how many deer we can kill. These comes from game biologists and like that, who get out in the woods and study herd populations and to how much natural food that they're eating. Is there a lot of mass? Is there not a lot of mass? And that's where the bag limits come from. Crop damages and things like that. So that's why the herd needs thinned. I would rather it be with typical hunting methods and not what I'm seeing out here on the road today, and what I went through a little bit this morning. There's too many deer dead alongside the road. I've seen deer mangled on the interstate that had to be hit by a tractor trailer. Some of these, I saw one where it was up but the head and the hide. I don't know where the rest of it went to. Unless, coyotes or something ran out there and got it. I don't know. But I never seen anything like it. So hopefully that'll slow down and everybody be careful out there. They are. on the road bad this year. So please, please be careful. Just take your time through areas where you know you see a lot of them. I don't want people swerving to miss deer at high speed because that could be deadly. Sometimes you don't have a chance and they're right in front of you and you smack them. It's not fun, but just be careful out there. They're thick. They are very thick out here along the road. I mean, right here, in town in White Sulphur, I see them near the road. I try to run them back. I can hear that awful sound from time to time when one gets smacked down here when a vehicle hits one. And well, funny story one time. Well, it ain't so funny, but the way it ended up when I lived down below where I live at, I was getting ready to take Gypsy out in the yard. It was already dark, and we opened the doors, and blue lights was everywhere. So we just nonchalantly and curious walked it into the yard so we could see around the building, see what was going on. About the time we got up there at the fence, it pow pow, and I mean we hit the deck. I thought there was a shootout going on, and with the way the world is today, who knows? With the drug problems that people are having and stuff like that. But what it was, a deer had gotten hit, and police officer was putting it out of its misery. And but at first, that was very scary situation because you didn't know what was going on. It's had no idea. But anyway, guys, appreciate it. We've been on here for an hour and 12 minutes. Since it's getting dark earlier in the evenings, we may move this up to about 6 o'clock. And I'm still looking at it possible another night. You never know when I might just pop on at any time. Also, watch your Instagram. I've been planning on popping on there from time to time. I'm going to have a post procedure if I feel like it. Tuesday evening, I probably will jump on live. And so we can see how I'm doing. If you care. No, I'm kidding. But I may have a post procedure live on Tuesday evening because I imagine when I get back from that, I'm going to start to come off all that stuff. And I'm going to probably feel pretty good. Did the last time and probably going to be ready for bed. So, and I know people are probably working the next day. I see schools still not have classes much. So, so if people want to hang out with me Tuesday evening, that's probably what we'll do. Unless I am wore out and very tired, which but my procedure supposed to start at 5 minutes till 3. It shouldn't last more than 30 minutes, I don't think, and probably get out there about 5:30. Should be home 7:30ish, 8. And I'll probably pop on then after my procedure. So, but anyway, guys, we're gonna hop off here. I know some of you's got maybe have kids that's still that do have school tomorrow, so you gotta get up early in the morning. So I appreciate you guys that hop on week after week after week, and it's just been a lot of fun. It's growing slowly, but it is growing. I put it out there every day, and I know Sunday nights is tough, so probably Tuesday night after Cast King Live goes off the air, which he's about a 30-minute show, starts about 8 o'clock. I'll probably jump on then, maybe do a little follow up from what they were doing, promote some things. Mark Hope. Really? I don't know what you mean by that. So, all right, guys. Appreciate you coming on. We will talk to y'all soon.